It's a new year. New coaches have taken over successful programs at New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Nicholls State has their title coach back for another title shot. The high schools are geared up and ready to go. So are we. Sports on the Bayou is back. Our very own Cajun Cannon Bobby Hebert, well, he's offering in-depth analysis and game strategies. Former Pro Bowler Rich Marty brings his candid talk back for another year. Mike Detillier will offer his great insight to the sports news each and every week. This year, the vivacious Debbie Cox-DeNova will have her own segment, Good Vibes. Our high school expert, Stan Gravois, will be on hand to discuss high school standings. The thumper, Harry McCullough, will focus on Nicholls State's season. The infamous Dr. Pat Hagan is back, and he'll get to ask his question each and every show. This year, our naming sponsors will be a part of the show. Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Some perennial corporate sponsors are also on hand. They are South Louisiana Bank, IE, Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality, BioPure, and BCG Services. This year, I'll assume a new role. I'll be a chief referee who will make sure that everyone gets equal time.
Yeah, right.
Now from the Eugene and Lorraine Falls studios in Houma, Louisiana, it's time for Sports on the Bayou.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Sports on the Bayou. Mike Detillier, the Cajun Cannon Bobby Hebert, Rich Marty. Got a lot to talk about this week. We'll be back with a lot of it right after this break here on Sports on the Bayou.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. And St. Martin and Bourke, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Don't go away. We'll be right back with Sports on the Bayou.
Here at Rouse's, we have our own brands of products, which you'll find down every aisle of our stores. These are the best quality at the best price. They compare to the national brands we sell, but at a lower cost. Most are made right here, but we travel the world too. And we personally taste test and guarantee every item. So if our name's on the label, you can trust it's good. Rouse's brand, best quality at the best price.
Here in South Louisiana, we know how important it is to protect our families.
When one of our neighbors is injured because of someone else's neglect, our team is compelled to use our experience, skills, and knowledge to seek justice and hold wrongdoers accountable. If you've been injured and want to know your rights, call St. Martin and Bourke today.
Sports on the Bayou's corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, BioPure, along with BCG Services. Now, back to Sports on the Bayou.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. Saints losing 30-26, and we said it last week. Man, win the giveaway takeaway ratio, run the football well, control the clock, don't turn the ball over, you get a W. You did all that and still lost.
Yeah, well, it goes back to the winning 2 out of 3 of those phases, and defense is just not playing.
Defense ain't playing well. Where are the playmakers?
We middle the pack on defense, and we top 10 on offense. You might say top 10 on offense. That's crazy. We need to flip that script. But look, for the first time in the season, the Saints did not turn over the ball. So I guess looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. But I don't know. This what drives you crazy and also keeps you interested in football is that the Saints were dominant in red zone offense and defense going into this game. Do you know we were the number 2 red zone offense? We were converting 80% touchdowns. Well, we were 1 of 5, 20%. Then you look at red zone defense. We were number 1 last year. We were number 2 so far in the season, only giving up 33%. Well, the Bengals were 100%. I mean, as far as like, look, 3 for 3 in the red zone, 100% goal to goal. And then you throw in there third down defense. You know, we've been able to get the opponent off the field. We were number 2 again. That's the magic number, top 5 number 2. We're only giving up 29% conversion rate, while the Bengals were 60%. So well, you have to look at something, because if you'd have told me I'd have lost my house, I'd have lost everything. You know how you bet and you think, if you'd have told me the Saints are going to run for over 200 yards and they're going to be +1 in a turnover margin and they're going to score 26 points, there's no way they're going to lose. There's no way, because I told you this last night, Mike. If you go to Super Bowl era, okay, you look at the mid-'60s, Super Bowl era, they've all of those numbers, when you rush for 200 yards and you win the turnover battle, when you look at all of that, and Mike, you were like 400 and some wins to 4 losses.
Yeah, I think.
Well, now it's 5 losses.
I think it's 455-4 entering the game. Now it's 455-5.
Well, I mean, it's just the freaking Saints. I mean, it's like this some old thing that you think about. Why we got to be part of that negative stat?
What's wrong with old, Bobby?
No, it's old because we recollect what occurred and didn't occur. So.
All right, let's get to the highlights before they get old. Gilligan with the 59-yard punt.
Yeah, but that later punt was like Gilligan.
God.
That was
special
Gilligan.
teams.
That was
That
was a Marianne punt, that last one. And then the Saints come up with the turnover. Andy Dalton hitting it downfield, getting it to Traquan, makes a big play. And then Rashid Shaheed. Man, we didn't hardly see him in practice because he was coming off a knee injury.
Now think about that fantasy. The first time he ever touches the ball in a real NFL game, he scores a touchdown.
Then Alvin Kamara off the edge, gets in field goal range. Joe Burrow, you put pressure on him. Joe's an athlete. He can get up the field and he scores. We saw it at LSU a lot. Then Dalton dumping it off to Kamara. Gets it down to the 12-yard line. But again, you have to settle for a field goal. Then Kamara off the edge, gets it down to the 21-yard line. But again, field goal. Then Burrow starts to heat up. Guess who? Jamar Chase.
We needed Marshawn Lattimore on Jamar Chase.
Then Andy Dalton with the big play to Juwan Johnson. But again, it sets up a field goal. And then finally, you get to Joe. Back-to-back plays where you got pressure. And then here was the backbreaker. Jamar breaks one tackle. Honey Badger push him out of bounds.
Yeah.
And Jamar goes in.
Honey Badger look old. It sucks getting old, but I mean,
but he knows mentally. He knows what to do, though. You just cut the angle off and force him inside. Exactly. He didn't even have to hit him.
Then they throw this one up.
Oh, we're not going to get that call.
Never get that call.
We're not going to get that call.
Okay, and you and I have talked about this a lot, and I never believe in this crapola of next man up. That's great to tell the locker room, to coaches to tell players and all that, but it does matter who you are. Man, when you lose a guy like Marshawn Lattimore, that final play shows, hey, next man up, he ain't even in the same area code as what Marshawn Lattimore is.
Well, the thing is with Lattimore, he's so physical, and he can match that physicality like Jamar Chase. Now, he got humbled with Justin Jefferson, a route runner. But like even Michael Thomas, he was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year. He don't beat Marshawn Lattimore in practice because that physicality. He's just that type of cornerback. So this is the worst game for Lattimore to get hurt and not be available against Jamar Chase.
But they had their opportunities before that. I mean, even that class. I mean, they're just not defensively. I mean, we talk about
where the star players are on
where
defense.
the playmakers. Exactly
where
right.
are those guys
in the fourth quarter? When
we have one interception. What? I mean, whether you like Malcolm Jenkins or not, or Marcus Williams, but I'll tell you, our safeties, Honey Badger and Marcus May, no. There's been a step back.
We'll be back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Coming up, Sports on the Bayou will go in the audience and introduce the naming sponsors and the guests that have come for this week's show. It's all right after the break.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our Alford team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community. From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Here at Rouse's, we have our own brands of products, which you'll find down every aisle of our stores. These are the best quality at the best price. They compare to the national brands we sell, but at a lower cost. Most are made right here, but we travel the world too. And we personally taste test and guarantee every item. So if our name's on the label, you can trust it's good. Rouse's brand, best quality at the best price.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by St. Martin and Bourke Attorneys at Law. Know your rights. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And by Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Now, back to Sports on the Bayou.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Martin, I'll throw it to you.
All right, we're going to get the naming sponsors, but Hunter Olson, he loved to do it so much last week. Hunter, get up on the chair. Get this crowd going a little bit. a little clap. On the chair. Y'all watch Olson. Face the crowd, Hunter.
Okay, Hunter, you got it going.
All right, ready?
Get some rhythm.
Yeah. All right, our naming sponsor. Hunter's part of it. We got Alford and Associates. They'll be featured next week for sure. We're going to move on to St. Martin and Bourke. We got a legendary coach we're going to be talking to in a little bit. Coach Zush is in the house. We also have Coach Laurie DuPont. A lot of coaches. Don Schwabe, everybody. Coach Clemens, we got them all. We're going to move to our next table, Rouse's. Look at the police chief in the crowd right here.
And man, can he sing?
Can he sing? And we're going to need, he's trying to keep order today at the show. So we're going to use that voice in a little bit. All right, let's move on over. We got South Louisiana Bank in the house. There you go, Cal, still waiting on his crew. They're making sales calls right now. Yep, we got Terrebonne General Health Systems, always doing a great job. Also with high schools, thank y'all, appreciate it.
All right, Percy.
All right, we got Barker Honda. We got Coach Clemens in the house from Nickel State. Ted Badron, his former star quarterback, is also here. And we got Bayou Pure, BCG, and I'm trying to work John on a good price for some wave runners, so when it turns in a little warmer, we can get that done. All right, coming over here, we got Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government. Give them a hand.
Yep.
All right, we got GIS. But look at a legend, Don Schwab in the house. And he's surrounded by some pretty good athletes over there. Terry had an okay arm. Now, Ed can catch it now, let me tell you that. Oh, yeah. And we're waiting on Coach Albert. I don't know where Coach Albert is. They must have got stuck at the red light.
Yeah, he's
over
caught
there
in
on
traffic.
Barrow and Main Street. We got Terrebonne Parish School District. Give them a big round of applause. All right, we have Tita in the house, and a little mixture of Terrebonne Parish. Bobby visited the table. He was impressed with the table, so.
Well, that's the table I want to sit at.
Yeah, he did. And we checked with Human Resources. Everything was okay. Mike Wright, parish manager, he said, okay, Bobby can visit the table. All right, we got a talent table over here. I'll tell you, look, Harry's got a little rhythm. Dr. Pat, how come you're not clapping? Follow Debbie. There you go. All right, I'm going to walk in here because it's a very special day. It's my mom's birthday.
Whoa!
All right? So she said, Martin, don't put me on the spot.
Get your throat ready.
And I promised her I wouldn't put her on the spot, so I'm walking in there and I'm putting her on the spot.
Get ready.
Okay?
Get ready.
Hey, Mom. How you doing? All right, I have a little feedback in here, so I hope y'all can hear me out there. But I want Bobby and the Chief to lead my mom. Y'all say Lorraine. That way it looks good on camera. If you say Mom, Lorraine, and everything else, it mixes it up. So say Lorraine, and Bobby and the Chief of Police are going to lead us in happy birthday. All right, Bob?
All right.
Give it to him, baby.
We're going to start this like Lawrence Welk. You know, I got enough old people like, and a one, and a two, and a three. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bill.
Miss Lorraine, happy birthday to you.
All right. And look, Rouse is, come on in. Rouse has made her a great cake today.
Ouch.
There we go.
That killed our NFL's film segment today.
I took a little liberties on this segment. I'm going a little over because I took an old interview I did with Mom, and I just put about 4 or 5 minutes together just so you can see what a great mom I have. So humble. She will kill me when I get back to the house later. But let's roll in a little bit of my mom on a previous interview.
I think the earliest years I can recall, I was about 5 years old, living on Greenwood Plantation. And the house we were in at that time was pretty small. So I think shortly after that, they moved us into a larger house on the same plantation down the road. And my daddy had a real large garden in the back of the yard, which he practically lived in day and night. But, you know, we had yard space, we had a cow. I think we had a few pigs, we had chickens. So it was just a typical plantation employee house, not an owner of a plantation house. He had corn, potatoes, tomatoes, eggplant, okra, peas, butter beans, you name it, he had it.
Describe Papa or your dad. What was that like?
He didn't have too much spare time, but I mean, whatever he said was the law of the land. So he kind of decided what was to be done, you know, and he believed in work.
What kind of grades did you make?
Oh, I made good grades.
You were valedictorian?
Yeah.
So straight A's?
Yeah.
All right. What was the best Christmas gift that you ever received as a child that you remember vividly?
I remember a doll that I got because we didn't get many Christmas gifts. And that year, I guess it was Sister Ann and Miriam and I each got a doll. So we really enjoyed those dolls.
Now, what was your first car?
My first car?
Yeah.
I never had a first car.
But your first car, okay, after you, or what was the first car you ever rode in?
Oh, well, in my daddy's car.
What was that?
It was a Buick. He loved Buicks. So when I went to work, like for the welfare department, I used to use his car to go to work. We'd go to the College Inn. At that time, it was nice, a nice place to go. We'd go. At that time, you used to do a lot of, not say picnicking, but they used to have crawfish balls and all kinds of things like that. We'd do that.
So what was the College Inn like? Describe that.
On Friday nights, a lot of them would just go without dates, but they always had a really good band there. Friday and Saturday night, real good bands. But Saturday night, most of them would have a date to go. So, you know, you met a lot of people there because it was always crowded.
So all the guys would ask girls to go to the College Inn?
They wouldn't even ask them to go to the College Inn. I mean, they'd meet there on Friday.
Okay. All right.
And then on Sunday, well, the ones who had dates would usually go. Our Lady of Fatima appearing. That was while I was still in high school. And I remember we all went out. There was a big balcony at the school, and it was on October 13th. And we were all watching, and we swore that the sun came out and rolled around in the sky. That was scary. And of course, there were those 3 promises that the Blessed Mother had revealed to those children at Fatima. And everybody was dying to hear what the promises were. But you know, they were pray more, revise your lives, and all that kind of stuff. But things like that, you know, really got to me.
Who is your favorite sports team of all time?
Sports team?
Yeah.
Well, you know that.
So who is
New Orleans Saints.
Right. Who is your favorite Saints player of all time?
Well, Drew Brees.
I love having you in the hot seat.
I know, and I'm really suffering from it. Pay attention to what your parents want for you and listen to your parents and try to always go in the right way and you know, study hard, make the most of your education, and be careful of who your friends are, you know, and things like that. And always remember, God comes first. And if you follow God and follow your religion, you're not going to go wrong.
There you have it. What a privilege It has been to have my mother as my mom. She's one of a kind. And Mom, we love you. And thank you very much for everything you've done over the years. And you could tell her prayers have really worked on me. I've sort of tested her over the years.
I'd say amen to that.
All right. Well, Mom, enjoy your day with your friends. We love you. And many, many more. All right. Back to you, Mike.
We'll be back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Coming up on Sports on the Bayou, we'll talk LSU football. We'll break down the highlights and analysis of this week's game and the upcoming game. You won't want to miss it. Don't go away. We'll be right back with Sports on the Bayou.
I'm Chris St. Martin.
And I'm Chuck Bork.
Truth is, nobody wants to hire an attorney. If you're coming to us, it's probably one of the most difficult times in your life.
But it's also true that if you've been injured, you need someone to explain your rights.
Since 1967, St. Martin and Bork has been helping the people of South Louisiana understand their rights. If you've been injured and want to know more about your rights, call us for a free consultation today.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our Alford team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Here at South Louisiana Bank, we support our neighbors, the organizers, the helpers, the leaders, the dreamers. We support those that move our community forward. Louisiana has grown from the dedication, commitment, and loyalty of the people who call this beautiful place home. We are proud to offer our services to the communities in South Louisiana. South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And St. Martin & Bork Attorneys at Law. Know your rights. Now, back to more Sports on the Bayou.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou, guys. We talked about this last week. LSU, Florida, in Gainesville. Which one of the quarterbacks would show up? Jayden Daniels showed up. Man, he was absolutely awesome against Florida. Anthony Richardson sort of has been what I've seen before. Great moments, bad moments, and a lot of in-between moments.
Well, Mike, you look at Jayden Daniels, to me now, back-to-back games, 300 yards passing. Now, I know Tennessee game didn't work out in the Gators, but he finished with 6 total touchdowns, 349 yards passing, the most by an LSU quarterback against Florida. Only one player, now his son might be the future in school history. Jamie Howard in 1992 had thrown for more than 300 yards against Florida. So, Mike, when you look at where we at in the quarterback position, hey, we might be trending in the right direction with him and bringing stability.
Oh, let's see if he can consistently do what he did Saturday night against Florida. Got a big test this coming weekend against an undefeated Ole Miss team who will want to run the football. You got to stop the run. We're going to go to the highlights. We got plenty. Right off the bat here, Nathan Dybert kicks off, and you would figure. A young man from Jennings, Louisiana, Trevor Etienne, gets it up the field.
Well, who has contained right there? The special team coach, he got to go. I mean, but he got. Listen, that one thing that has to change.
And man, you saw Richardson just with a flick of the wrist, 51 yards to Justin Shorter. Then Daniels.
Look at the time though he has back there.
A lot of time, throws it downfield, and he hooks up with Kayshon Boutte. Finally, 40 yards to the 30-yard line. Then Daniels back to pass. He's got a little bit of pressure, but he sits in there, makes another really good throw to Kayshon.
To me, Mike, he's making a better plays in the pocket than Richardson right now.
Yes, I agree. Then Emery, 7 yards for a touchdown. Then another guy from New Orleans, Montrell Johnson, 39 yards.
Well, the thing is, Ole Miss will run the football. They're going to try to run the football against LSU. That's going to be key. You have to make, what's his name, Dax?
Dart.
Yeah, you have to make him throw the ball.
Then again, LSU scores, but get it in there. For Florida, they get a touchdown. Then Daniels. This is a beautiful throw. Right down the field. Cole Taylor makes it in. Gets it down. Jaden back to pass and throws this one.
Okay, that was on the throw, but listen, you got to give a 50-50 deal or deal. You throw it up. You got to give your receivers a chance. Same thing right here.
Jenkins goes in for the score. Then LSU running the football with Josh Williams. Gets it up the field. Josh had a great game. Moves it downfield. And he almost sort of pushed him, but LSU sort of pushed Richardson. We got that play too. Then on a little delay, quarterback draw. Daniels cuts the corner, and he's got enough speed to get it in for the score.
I mean, he's moving faster than you think. It looks like he's just cruising. But
he got some speed. Then he turns it to the left side. Then Richardson goes back to throw. You talk about speed. And he was at the Manning camp. This guy runs like a deer. Now watch. He kind of gets pushed here and pushed again.
Tackle. They're trying to strip the ball. You got to tackle him.
Tackle him.
Don't strip the ball. You got to tackle him.
Then again, Florida closes the gap here. LSU has a nice drive, but Ramos comes in with the longest field goal he's ever kicked.
Mike, he looked like money right there.
Yeah, and he makes it 45-35.
That was crucial.
Florida getting some pressure, and then the ball gets stripped out. Looked like a fumble, but they ruled it an incomplete pass. Didn't matter, though. LSU took care of business on the road, and Brian Kelly becomes the first coach in LSU history to beat Auburn and Florida on the road in the same year.
On the road in the same year.
Now, you'd have thought that would have happened before.
No, it didn't. Now
how about that?
Mike, in other words, look at Jaray Jenkins. He's a senior wide receiver. He can, no Florida Gator could ever talk trash to him. He can tell his grandkids. He's been unbelievable against Florida. Look, that 54-yard touchdown with 2 minutes left in the second quarter, that's his 5th scoring grab of his career against the Gators. 5 touchdowns. So Florida's like saying, we got to get Jaray Jenkins out of here. He got to go.
He got to go to the NFL.
Because he's burned us.
He got more than my whole career. Pretty good.
Now, this coming week, you play Ole Miss, undefeated. They've had some highs and lows. Their defense, I think, is a slightly above average defense. They don't throw the football nearly as well as they did a year ago with Matt Corral. Jackson Dart. Last week, they won with 18 passes from Dart. They had not 1, not 2, 3 100-yard rushers on that team against Auburn. So you better tackle good against Ole Miss.
Well, they're going to run. If you look what they did against Auburn, now the Auburn Tigers are sorry. I don't know if you got any Auburn alumni here, but Auburn, they suck. They're not very good. Look, Ole Miss ran the ball, to say the least, with effectiveness. They ran for 448 yards. We were running for 200, 448 yards on the ground. That's the program's most in an SEC game. You got to go back to 1979. 1979.
We'll be back.
Just shows you Ole Miss running the ball. We got to.
Coming up, Debbie Cox DeNova will have her Good Vibes segment. Stick around. You may learn something.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our Alford team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Here at Rouse's, we have our own brands of products, which you'll find down every aisle of our stores. These are the best quality at the best price. They compare to the national brands we sell, but at a lower cost. Most are made right here, but we travel the world too. And we personally taste test and guarantee every item. So if our name's on the label, you can trust it's good. Rouse's brand, best quality at the best price.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Rouse's Markets. official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And St. Martin and Bourke Attorneys at Law. Know your rights. Now, back with more Sports on the Bayou.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou. It's our Good Vibes segment. Debbie, you got it.
Doing the impossible. And we can't talk about this in the world of athleticism without mentioning Roger Bannister, who in 1954 decided that he was going to break a world record and run a 4-minute mile. Doctors literally told him that his heart would explode. They told him that it was a physical impossibility and not to attempt it. Nevertheless, we know that Roger Bannister in 1954 ran a mile in under 4 minutes. Now, what's incredible about this story, and he didn't die, by the way. What's incredible about this story is that for thousands of years of recorded history, there had been no one who had even attempted a 4-minute mile. And then within 4 years after Roger Bannister proved that it was possible, 20 more people went to do it. And to this day, it's 1,663 athletes who have accomplished this. And the 4-minute mile has become a professional standard in middle distance running. So, and then of course, we have arguably one of the most influential athletes of our time. Tom Brady was described as a skinny kid who did not win the jackpot where athleticism was concerned. He tested poor, like the worst as a quarterback. He had the slowest 40-yard dash. He had the slowest arm. He, had the worst vertical jump. He had the worst combine of any NFL starting quarterback ever recorded. And yet we know that he went on to be a 7-time Super Bowl champion, including 5 Super Bowl MVP awards. And Greg Harden, who's a sports psychologist who's credited for helping him mentally through his career, says that it's not the athleticism that makes him the GOAT. Obviously, that's important. It's mental toughness. Exactly, Bobby. So my question to you guys is that when it comes to busting down barriers, to deciding that the limits that people set forth are decisions and not actual facts, what mental characteristics do you think are most important?
Say it again. What's the mental?
What mental characteristics are the most important?
What's the most important? How you handle adversity. You got to be able to bounce back. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You have to be able to compartmentalize. Now, Tom Brady's challenged with that right now, considering it looks like he's getting a divorce. How can you compartmentalize that and separate your private life from your professional career? And because no one cares what's going on with him and Giselle in the football world. Now, can you process that? Now, you need a supporting cast. You are playing a team sport. It's not like golf or tennis. But I think with Tom Brady is head and shoulders above a number of people. Drew Brees is like that. It's like the mental aspect. It's like how you're able to wake up day in and day out and process everything you're dealing with and still be successful. Because you do need a supporting cast. The injuries that Tampa Bay was dealing with as far as the offense, I think they still have a top defense, but who knows? The NFC South, which turned into the NFC South. 8-9 or 9-8 might win the conference. But that to me is why Tom Brady's so special, because he's mentally tough. You can be mentally tough no matter what aspect you're doing in your work. Oh, you might go home and tell your loved one, oh, I had a rough day at work and all that. But what, you going to quit? Oh, wait, I'm quitting. Now I'm out of here. No, you got to be able to handle adversity and go forward. I think that's the great job that Tom Brady.
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly with that.
I think he's right.
And the other thing that great athletes don't do, they don't ever allow the outside world to box them into any limitations. They don't have a limit. Look at great Brady. He's going year to year, guys like that, but they have no limit. It's unlimited. So the sky's the limit, effectively, right?
Special about Tom Brady, it is like, because it's tough for athletes today, because social media and all that. But Tom Brady was like pre-social media. He's able to transfer or adapt to what we're dealing with in social media.
He could be the dad for some of the players on that team. That's the crazy part. But before Brady, there was another GOAT. His name was Johnny Unitas. And he, undrafted, came into this league. He got cut from the Steelers, and they kept Bobby's good friend Jim Finks instead of Unitas. He goes to Baltimore. He becomes the greatest passer.
To me, 2 players, Mike mentions Johnny Unitas and Joe Montana.
No, how about Billy Kilmer? who couldn't throw it through a paper bag.
Yeah, but Billy, come on, Rich.
He won a title. Well, I know he's not, but he won a championship, and he did greatness on it.
No. You look at Johnny Unitas and Joe Montana, okay? You look at them.
We'll be right back with Sports on the Bayou.
Coming up, Harry McCullough with a live studio guest as Sports on the Bayou continues.
I'm Chris St. Martin. Many of us know what it means to have roots here on the Bayou. I'm no different. My family has been here for generations. Likewise, the firm of St. Martin and Bourke has been helping the injured in this region for almost 50 years. We're honored to serve the people of South Louisiana and the Bayou region. Remember, if you've been hurt in an accident and you want to know your rights, call St. Martin and Bourke today to schedule your free consultation.
At Barker Honda, we have the aggressive all-new Honda Ridgeline. Ridgeline has class-leading cab space, easy folding seats for storage, standard all-wheel drive, versatile tailgate, automatic in-bed lighting, plywood lies flat in the truck bed, large rear storage for work, ice chest with drain, or whatever. And remember, it's better at Barker.
If your child is suffering from recurrent croupy cough, bronchitis, reactive airway, or persistent asthma that's difficult to control, please listen carefully. Your child may be suffering from adenoid sinus bronchial asthma syndrome, as we now know that undetected or uncontrolled infection in the upper airway can affect the lower respiratory tract. If this is happening to your child, please call us for an evaluation.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by St. Martin and Bourke Attorneys at Law. Know your rights. Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. And by Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Now, back to Sports on the Bayou.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. H, you got it, brother.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. Honored guest here today to talk about it. On October 29th of this year, from 4 to 8 p.m. at the E.D. White Gymnasium on Cardinal Drive, that's in Thibodeau, obviously. It's a testimonial to honor Coach Pat Zush, and it's hosted by all his former athletes, cheerleaders, trainers, graduating classes from Thibodeau College, E.D. White, Thibodeau High School, and a lot of family and friends. And Coach Zush is joining us now. And Coach, thanks so much, man. What an honor. You're already up on the press box there at school, but this is quite an honor to see all these folks.
I appreciate everybody here, my family, my friends, everybody. It's great. I mean, you just can't do anything other than love them and kiss them.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about your career. I'm reading about some of this. So you started 17 years old. Can you tell me how you got started coaching at 17?
Well, I was playing football, basketball, and baseball in high school. And my senior year, I hurt my ankle, and I couldn't play football. And Theo Fake was the coach at Thibodeau High School. And they only had 2 coaches. So he asked me if I would coach the 8th and 9th graders. And I took them. And we had a good team. We wound up 5-1. And after the season, he said, Coach, he said, if you go into teaching and education, I'll hire you as a coach.
And that's what you did. You went to Nichols and Southeastern, right?
Went to Nichols and Southeastern, yes.
Yeah, you kind of hitchhiked your way over to Hammond a couple of times. Remember back in the day we could do that kind of stuff. Some other great things. You won some state championships, some great records, obviously at E.D. White and at Thibodeau High. 19, 55, and 11. A couple of state championships, a couple of guys that you're still in contact with there at E.D. White, huh?
Oh, got friends all over. Laurie, Cam, my son Villo played football, basketball, and baseball. And everywhere I go to say, hey, coach, hey, coach, hey, coach. I said, this lovely. I got to think of some names now.
Oh, yeah. I forget my kids' names, so it happens, you know. Hey, one thing I did not know. So in 1965, you and brother Louis Joseph brought in a player named Roosevelt Sanders. What was the significance of that?
In 1964-65, we had a hurricane, and old Thibodeau College was destroyed, and they were building a new school. They hadn't named it yet, but So the boys got over first, and on the way going there, well, 2 colored schools, one in Thibodeau and one outside of Thibodeau, had closed down. And we were going to get some colored, didn't know how many, and some were coming to E.D. White, to Thibodeau College, and some were coming to Montgomery, the sister school. So Brother Louis George said, what we're going to do? I said, well, we had a faculty meeting, and one of them, Roosevelt Sanders, said, are you the coach? I said, yes. I want to play football. I said, well, I can't answer that right now. I'll do it tomorrow morning. That's my office over here. Meet me here at 8 o'clock. So I asked Brother L.J., I said, after the meeting, I said, you know, one of the colored boys want to play football. He said, what did you tell him? I said, well, cool. Brother, I said, if he's here, he has a birth certificate, his grades are passing, he passed the physical, I'll give him a try. He said, that's what I believe. And we picked up Roosevelt.
Coach Zush, enjoy. Next couple Saturdays from now, it'll be at the Thibodeau E.D. White Gymnasium. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Saints on the Bayou. Sports on the Bayou right after this.
Coming up, Dr. Pat gets to ask his question of the week as Sports on the Bayou is right around the corner.
Here at Rouse's, we have our own brands of products which you'll find down every aisle of our stores. These are the best quality at the best price. They compare to the national brands we sell, but at a lower cost. Most are made right here, but we travel the world too. And we personally taste test and guarantee every item. So if our name's on the label, you can trust it's good. Rouse's brand, best quality at the best price.
Whether it's your home or your business, Bayou Pure specializes in disinfection application, along with water, fire, mold damage cleanup. Call Bayou Pure today to get your free consultation at 985-322-3003.
BCG Services, local experts for concrete leveling and foundation repair, providing quality solutions for a variety of foundation issues. With years of experience applying Floor Shield products to both homes and businesses, you can trust our team to provide high-quality results. Call for a free consultation.
Sports on the Bayou's corporate sponsors are South Louisiana Bank, Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute, Barker Honda, BioPure, along with BCG Services. Now, back to Sports on the Bayou.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou and his Dr. Pat segment. Doc?
And then Holy Cross and
making statements.
Oh, we got enough in there.
All right, Doc, it's yours.
Well, we have Coach Bill Clements here. Bill has actually been a neighbor of mine in the hood in Thibodeau, and I got to know him through his son Brian, who was a great football player at E.D. White, made it to football team that played Curtis in the Dome in the state championship, and Brian's a physician. Coach, we've had you on the show in the past. You played for Tulane from 1957 to 1959. So tell us about what did you play, what was your position, and you played LSU 3 times during those years. There was some guy named Billy Cannon and guys like that.
Yeah, 57, because we had a freshman team. 3 games is all we played, and you didn't play varsity. And I guess I started starting at nose guard and offensive guard, because everybody played both ways. If you were on the field, you had to cover kicks, punts, extra points, everything. And if you started the quarter, you could come out one time and go back in.
Wow.
If you didn't start the quarter, you come in one time and leave, and you couldn't come back till the next quarter.
And that's why Paul Dietzel had the white team, the go team, and the Chinese Bandits.
Exactly.
Did you ever have to tackle Billy Cannon?
Often.
Okay.
I played against him 4 years.
I see cleat marks right here on your chest. And so then you went on after that to become a defensive coordinator at Holy Cross from 62 to 70, the high school, correct?
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was it was a wonderful thing. The players at Holy Cross were just, we had great players, all during the 60s.
Yeah.
And we won a lot of games, one state championship, one runner-up, about 6 or 7 districts. And I think we put about 40-some kids into colleges throughout the state.
And during those years, I think Pat Screen was a quarterback at Jesuit during those years.
He had just finished Jesuit in '60, I believe.
Okay.
I think they played LaGrange in the state finals.
So you went to Nicholls State in '72 just as they were going to start varsity football. And in '75, I think you became the head coach.
Well, no.
Tech is good at it.
I worked like this. Frank Young was actually the first head coach at Nicholls State. Nobody knows that. And he hired me to go down there 6 months before he came. Mm-hmm. And I did all the recruiting for the first team by myself. I put about 25,000 miles on one of those state station wagons, you know. And then Frank came down in the spring after the Liberty Bowl, and he and I ordered equipment, and he hired the rest of the staff. And he never coached one down.
Oh, wow. So we got 1 minute left, and I know you were the coach of the first championship team in 1975. Tell us a little bit about that. Who was your top players and your quarterback?
Well, our quarterback was Teddy Bergeron. Who's
Terrebonne High legend, Ted.
Yeah. And he was a good one. He was unassuming. You never knew Teddy was around.
Finest man you ever meet.
Yeah,
I agree.
And he had some great receivers. He had Gerald Butler, who went on to be drafted in the pros. He had Artie Hippolyte, Mike Morris, guys like that could catch the football.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot. It's good seeing you.
Thank you, Pat.
All right.
And right after the break, Stan Gravois takes a look at key high school football games on Sports on the Bayou.
Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
With over 26 years of experience, our Alford team is your solution for quality and proven coverage.
The customer service you remember from years ago is what we pride our team on.
We know how important your company is to the community.
From small businesses to large businesses, Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Looking to achieve a healthier lifestyle but have little time? The Terrebonne General Executive Health Program can improve your overall health for a lifetime in one visit. With little to no waiting, you get a whole year of wellness in one convenient location. Our preventative screenings increase your well-being by providing early detection against illness. With exceptional VIP service, you leave with a plan in hand to achieve a healthier lifestyle tailored for you. Call the Terrebonne General Executive Health Team at 985-850-6204 today.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Alford & Associates for all of your insurance needs. Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And St. Martin & Bourke Attorneys at Law. Know your rights. Now, back to more Sports on the Bayou.
Back here on Sports on the Bayou, Stan Gravois does a great job covering the prep ranks, and so this is his segment on last week.
Hi everybody, welcome to Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute's weekly high school football report. Today we take a look back at week 7. We pretty much know who our district champions are going to be, or at least those 1 or 2 teams who have a shot at it. But what we don't know is who's going to get in the playoffs. Today we take a further look.
Just in case you hadn't heard, Destrehan High School is pretty good. In the blink of an eye, they went up on Terrebonne High School 28-0 in the first quarter of this game on Friday night. So far this year, Destrehan is averaging 45 points a game and only giving up a little less than 2 points a game. And when you consider in today's high school with a 40-point lead running clock, that's pretty impressive. Final score in this one, Destrehan 42, Terrebonne 6. In Thibodaux, it was both Thibodaux High and H.L. Bourgeois in desperate need of a win. After a 6-point lead by the Tigers, they add to it. This and Ian Rodrigue to Rashad Jackson, touchdown pass. And then later in the second quarter, it's Rodrigue again. He dumps this one off to DeMarcus Singleton. He takes it in for the score. Thibodaux goes on to win this one easily, 34-7. At Pelche Stadium, E.D. White takes the lead on this nice option play. Jake Sternfeld's on the pitch to Dylan Worthington. And then it's good old Cardinal smash mouth football. Sternfeld's on the quarterback sneak, takes it in from 5 yards out. E.D. White runs away with it, 41-8. In other Week 7 scores, South Terrebonne gets out to a 16-0 lead over Vanderbilt and holds on for a 16-14 win. Ellender may be having the best season they've ever had. They defeat Assumption in overtime, 38-37. South Lafourche gets a big homecoming win over Morgan City. Central Lafourche plays East St. John tough. Lutcher, no problems with Hornville. Central Catholic, a huge win over Berwick. CCA comes from behind to defeat Highland Baptist. Houma Christian crushes Rosenwald, and the same for St. James over Patterson. And a look at the PowerPoint rankings show that in Division 1 non-select, East St. John, Destrehan, and Hornville are safely in the top 28. Terrebonne, Thibodaux, and South Terrebonne have a chance of getting in. HL Bourgeois, Central Lafourche, and South Lafourche on the outside looking in. For those of you who don't remember, the LHSAA has forced South Terrebonne and South Lafourche to play up from their 4A classification to the Division 1 bracket. In the Division 2 non-select category, Lutcher, Assumption, and Ellender are in as it stands now. 28 teams make that bracket. Morgan City doesn't have a chance to get in. In Division 2 select, E.D. White easily in. Vanderbilt Catholic at number 28. 24 teams make this bracket. In Division 3 non-select, St. James easily in at number 3. Berwick took a little dip after their loss to Single A Central Catholic, but they're still easily in. In Division 3 select, Houma Christian on the outside looking in. Houma Christian easily could win out, but they're too far down in the PowerPoint rankings to reach the top 24. And in Division 4 select, Central Catholic easily in. They sit at number 3. Covenant Christian sitting at number 17, due in large part to a forfeit victory over Morgan City earlier this year. A couple of big games this week, but probably none bigger than two 6-1 teams. E.D. White at Berwick.
Only 3 more games left to this season. We'll take a look at the home stretch next week here on our weekly report.
Coming up on Sports on the Bayou, we'll put the naming sponsors against the host in picking the scores of the games this week. Who'll be the closest? We'll see if the sponsors can beat the experts as Sports on the Bayou continues.
I'm Chris St. Martin.
And I'm Chuck Bork.
Truth is, nobody wants to hire an attorney. If you're coming to us, it's probably one of the most difficult times in your life.
But it's also true that if you've been injured, you need someone to explain your rights.
Since 1967, St. Martin and Bork has been helping the people of South Louisiana understand their rights. If you've been injured and want to know more about your rights, call us for a free consultation today.
Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.
Sports on the Bayou is brought to you by Rouse's Markets, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Alford & Associates, for all of your insurance needs. And St. Martin and Bork, attorneys at law. Know your rights. Now, back with more Sports on the Bayou.
We're back here on Sports on the Bayou. Got a little problem with the headset. So, Martin, I'll throw it to you.
All right, let's check out the scores. Look. Final Saints 26, Bills 30. Stan Gravo and Dr. Pat share that victory. That's the bottom score. Dr. Pat, is that your first win this year? Second. Wow. I'll stand corrected.
Dr. Pat knows football.
Wait a minute.
But Stan is rolling with it. All right, next one up. Here we go. All right, Rich Marty.
Baby.
Yeah, Rich is in the column now. Next, here we go. Stan again. Incarnate Word, 42, Nichols 17. Yeah, that's pretty close when you really look at it.
I had that.
All right,
it was close.
There you go. Stan's in the middle, getting high fives out there. Let's keep on rolling. Winning pick standings. There you go. Stan Gravo 6, Dr. Pat with 2, Rich with 2, everybody else following up with 1. Wow. But at least we don't have a shutout at this point for anybody. Harry, you got any? You're not even on the list. Come on, man. Step up. All right, Bobby, you got...
picking baseball.
You got Saints over Arizona.
Picking his nose.
You got LSU over Ole Miss. Tammy Hayden does not like that her kid goes to Ole Miss. She's standing next to me, heckling me the whole time. And Nichols 24 over McNeese 13. Let's see how that fares out.
Yeah.
Rich, you got the Saints over Arizona, LSU over Ole Miss, and Nichols over McNeese. Okay, I think y'all making phone calls before. All right, Mike Detillier, Saints over Arizona. Ooh, LSU in a close one over Ole Miss, and Nichols in a close one over McNeese. We'll see how that fares out. I got the Saints over Arizona, LSU over Ole Miss, and McNeese over Nichols.
Man, McNeese is sorry this year.
I know, but
3 points. Only giving Nichols 3 points.
I'm going against my tendencies.
Okay, all right.
3 points.
All right, next. Harry's got Saints squeaker over Arizona. LSU, Ole Miss over LSU. Tammy, you happy about that? All right. And Nichols over McNeese in a close one. We got Stan. Let's see where Stan's at. Arizona over the Saints. Ole Miss over LSU. And Nichols over McNeese. We'll see how Stan does this week. Debbie, come on. You got to step it up, Debbie. Debbie's got Arizona over the Saints. Ole Miss 42, LSU 40 in a shootout. And McNeese over Nichols State. All right. Dr. Pat's got Arizona over the Saints. LSU winning over Ole Miss, and Nichols 1-point victory over McNeese. Let's see what Alford and Associates got. They got the Saints winning, they got Ole Miss winning, and they got Nichols State. So we're going to see how they do next week. All right, let's move along. St. Martin and Bourke. Saints winning, LSU winning, and Nichols winning over McNeese. Okay, we'll see how they fare out. And finally, see what Rouse's has. Let's say Casey probably picked these. Saints over Arizona, Ole Miss over LSU, and Nichols over McNeese. They have to pick the Saints. They're the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. They have to do that. That just would be bad. I'm sorry. Right. It just would be. All right, so there you have it. And Mike will kick it back to you.
Thanks so much, and we'll be back next week with another version of Sports on the Bayou.
Who dat?
That's it for Sports on the Bayou. Please visit us at HTV10 Facebook and HTV10 YouTube for a look at this week's show. We'll see you next week, same place, same time.